So I'm going to show you guys how to do a one-point perspective. So let's go to the board. To construct this perspective, you're going to need a set of multi-view drawings. In this case, you're going to need a plan and an elevation or a section. The scale of the plan and elevation is 1/4 inch. You're going to put a piece of paper over your plan. In this case, I'm putting the plan on the top, and I'm going to project the perspective image onto the bottom. You can do it the opposite, meaning you can put the plan on the bottom and project your perspective image to the top. Here's a tip. You really need to sharpen your pencil when you're doing perspective drawings. Everything needs to be exact. First thing to establish is where you are standing on the plan. That is the station point. Keep in mind the cone of vision, which is 60 degrees. Anything outside of the cone of vision will be distorted. Step 2 is to establish your picture plane. I like to use the back elevation as my picture plane. I'm going to show you in a minute why. Okay, so I just established where the picture plane is with the back elevation. So this is going to sound a little confusing. Your paper is the picture plane, meaning that's where the perspective image is going to appear. Now, you need to establish where the picture plane is on the plan. What that means is that in the perspective image below, I can use the elevation. Basically, I'm going to retrace the elevation down below. So now I have the picture plane and the station point established on the plan. Now I can move on to where the perspective image is. So here I have slipped the elevation underneath the piece of tracing paper, and I'm lining the elevation with the plan. The reason why I can do that is because I am using the picture plane with that back elevation. If you decide to move the picture plane, you cannot use your elevation like this. So this is a very important note about the picture plane. Changing the position of the picture plane will not affect the perspective views. In other words, it will not make it more for shortening. But changing the position of the picture plane will only affect the size of the image. So now I can use the elevation and establish the horizon line. The horizon line is basically where my eye is. The horizon line is relative to where I am with the ground line. So in this case, I am establishing 5 feet 6 inches from the ground line. Now I can pull the station point vertically down until it hits the horizon line. That is the vanishing point. So this is where we can start to construct a perspective. Draw a line from the station point to the front corner of the plan until they intersect the picture plane. Where it intersects the picture plane, draw a vertical line all the way down to the perspective image. In the perspective image, draw a line from the vanishing point to the corner of the elevation. Continue that line until it hits the vertical line from the picture plane. use tracing paper to draw things that you actually see. That will speed up the process of this construction. Continue projecting lines from the station point to the corner of the plan and onto the picture plane. Where it intersects the picture plane, you can project those vertical lines down to the perspective image. You can use the vanishing point to establish the perspective image. Now you can continue doing the same method on the other side of the plan. Remember, this is a one-point perspective, so all the parallel lines on the plan converge onto one point in the perspective image. You can locate the exact location of the window, how far it is from the back wall, by projecting lines from the station point, hitting the corner of the window to the picture plane, and pulling that vertical line all the way down to the perspective image to find out the depth. Keep using tracing paper to help you see your drawing. Once I know for certain my lines are correct, then I will go back with a finished line. all the converging lines go to a single point. So here I'm going to draw this bookcase. The key is to establish the depth of this bookcase. So again, using the station point, draw a line that hits the corner of the bookcase until it hits the picture plane, and then draw a vertical line down to the perspective image. So now you can establish the depth of the bookcase by drawing the converging line from the vanishing point to where the bookcase is. You can establish where the shelves are in the bookcase by drawing converging lines from the vanishing point. So here on the left side of the plan, we have a drafting table and a footstool. So same thing, we're going to establish the location of the drafting table by projecting lines from the station point to where the corner of the drafting table is, hitting the picture plane and then drawing the vertical lines all the way down to the perspective image. So now I have established the footprint of the drafting table on the perspective image. I can use the elevation of the table and project that angle onto the perspective image. with the stool, since it is a circle or a cylinder or a round, I am drawing a square. And I'm going to project that square onto where the perspective image is to create a circle in perspective. So I projected the square of this footstool onto the perspective image. This is where I can freehand a circle onto that square. I am freehanding a circle as best as I can to look like a perspective onto the image. So for final, I am using a piece of tracing paper and sketch the perspective drawing, all the lines that you actually see. And this is where I can make adjustments of certain things, such as the door. On the right side of the door frame, you see the top and the side edge. And also I can kind of fix certain areas such as the footstool to make it look more realistic. You can of course hardline this whole drawing and make it into a drafting exercise. But here, I'm just tracing it over, freehand. Well, there you have it.